welcome back to the Tempo Control post-show Spoilercast. This is for episode 5, which is Undertale. I'm Peter Spezia, the host of the show, and joining once again this week by Joe DeVader.
Hey, everybody.
And Rita Garcia.
Hey there, what's up? Howdy.
So, brought you guys back from Pokemon Black and White. We're talking Undertale this week. Why I sound different is I am currently in a hotel in Moab, Utah. So, kind of far away from the setup. I've been out this week from Sunday until coming back tomorrow, Thursday. So, probably editing this podcast on a flight. I was editing the episode for Tempo Control on the way out. And that was interesting, to say the least. So it's kind of thrown a little wrench into the normal workflow, particularly for this coming week. But yeah, it's different. So, but thank you guys for making the time. Appreciate it. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Well,
Good.
I'm not dead.
Well, that's good because you just finished Undertale.
Literally an hour and a half before this recording.
Oh boy. Well, let's start by talking about Undertale. This is a spoiler cast, so if you have not beaten the game, recommend saving this for when you do, because we're going to talk about all the good spoilery details about it. Rita, let's start with you. Your experience and just thoughts on Undertale as a whole.
So when I first came across Undertale, it was friends on Twitter just posting about Sans and Papyrus, and that's all I really knew for a while, is that I was going to have a bad time and something about spaghetti. And so without wanting to know more about the game, I went ahead and bought it and started playing it. It was a little bit after the release, I want to say in November-ish for me. So the hype had already been going at that point. So I had to mute a few key phrases for myself on Twitter until I finished the game. And it took me quite a while to finish the game because I was stuck at a few points in the game. But after I came back to them after thinking about it for a long time, I got through it in my first attempt. I played for a while up until Muffet, and then I died, like a lot of people do. And I just gave up for about 3 weeks. And then I went back to it and beat it the first time. And in my first run of the game, I killed a few enemies and I leveled up once. So that netted me the neutral ending the first time around. So I had to go back and play it again without killing anybody. And so that ended up with the pacifist ending, and which I feel is the better ending of the game. People like to look at the no mercy or genocide ending as holy shit, this is the best thing ever to happen in video games since video games were invented. Because I don't know, it's not.
That ending's fucked.
Yeah, that ending is really, really fucked up. I just recently finished the genocide ending, and I'm kind of mad on it. Especially because of the 2 ridiculous fights that we'll talk about, I guess, in depth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's basically my experience with it. It's definitely one of my new favorite games, and I took Muffet way more seriously than I thought I would, because I don't know why. Out of her, she's my favorite character, and Papyrus is a very close second, though.
Mm-hmm. Joe, your experiences with just beating it.
So, I started about 2 weeks ago, and I, too, made it to Muffet, and died a lot, and gave up. Because, to be perfectly honest, gameplay-wise, I'm not too hot on this game. I'm not a big fan of bullet hell games, and that's technically what this is, really, is a bullet hell game. And so, I was very frustrated. And it's also the fact that it's very slow. It's a very slow-moving game, and a lot of that is because it takes a lot of its inspiration from Earthbound, which is also a game that I think has a fantastic story, but cannot stand to play. Which is hilarious to me that both of these games share the same sort of root, and therefore have the same emotion welled up in me. The difference being that I beat Undertale, and I will never beat Earthbound myself. It's just the speed also got to me, and I wouldn't call my experience fun, but I would call it funny, because This is the funniest damn game I've possibly ever played in my life.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Right when I finished the game, I got the neutral ending, obviously, because first off, I was not going to go for genocide first time, and I'm not going to go for genocide myself ever. And also, I'm told that it's actually impossible to get past your first run. You're not actually allowed.
Yep.
And so I got neutral. I did kill a couple things. I killed Toriel, and I feel bad about it. She's the only boss I killed, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, no.
I killed Sheep Mom.
Sheep Mom.
And so I have two parents in my life, Sheep Mom and Boat Dad from Wind Waker. Anyways, so that's the only boss I killed, and I feel horrible about it. And
to be fair, a lot of the internet killed her the first time around.
I went into this game basically blind. I didn't know anything about it. I've kept myself in the dark on purpose. Like I was told the best way to go into this game was in the dark.
That's absolutely correct, yeah.
The weirdest thing about that, if you do kill Torio and you reset in the animation of her dying and go back to before the fight because you feel bad and you spare her, Flowey still knows that you killed her when you walk up into the room.
Oh, nice. That's very interesting. There's a lot of like meta stuff and fourth wall breaks.
It's really clever with knowing about the game saves and all that.
And so I got the neutral ending, and I watched the some of the videos from the other paths. Rita helped me find some, and one of them was the Undine date, which is probably one of the funniest scenes from any game I've ever watched in my entire life. Papyrus jumping out of that window. I had to pause the video, and I was dying. I lost it when he jumped out of that damn window.
Set all the things on fire.
That was amazing. Yeah. She needs to chill the fuck out.
But is anime real, though?
It's very real, and it's sometimes my friend.
All the Undying cosplayers that I've seen pop up since then, they're just fantastic.
See, I've seen either Undying or I've seen Sans. Those are the two that I've seen. I kind of want to cosplay Papyrus a little bit because he seems like he'd be an easy one to do.
You'd pull it off well.
I'm very tall and lanky. So, yeah.
Make spaghetti.
Bring spaghetti.
I could make spaghetti and then let it freeze. But there were a couple things I wish I would have been able to do that I'm just going to have to go look up on YouTube because it's still not worth going back to. Like, I want to send the Temmie to college, who I'm told that is an amazing scene.
Yes.
But I have not seen it yet.
Let's go to college.
I have seen the other... The Temmies are the best, and if you all remember Katie from the P3 Spoilercast, they are basically her. They are all her. The entire Temmie village is just that.
Including Bob.
The Temmies also saved my life because when I got to Asgore, I didn't have any healing items, and I didn't have any gold. So I got to go to Temmie village and sell all of my old armor, and that gave me enough gold to buy the 2 health items that let me survive the Asgore fight.
Hey. Yay, Temmie. So some behind the scenes stuff. I almost put in like a little Easter egg after the credits rolled in this episode, and it just would have been that video of this Korean guy streaming the game and going into the Temmie village. And Rita, I'm guessing you know the one I'm talking about. It's popped up on Tumblr a few times, and it's this guy just going up and saying, "No, Temmie! Just
awesome.
freaking out, and then just no, Temmie.
That sounds like the best.
No.
They were adorable. All of them were adorable, including Bob.
Did you speak to the one Temmie who got Hoives?
Yes, that was the best. I spoke to every goddamn Temmie. I needed to know.
Feeling of being watched.
So, like, the world and the writing and the characters, that's all great. Everything in this game is perfectly crafted, except for the gameplay, and it's all right. The gameplay's all right. And
I find myself very mixed on the bullet hell myself, and I was trying to do pacifist run the first time, and so like got to Snowden Town, and it's just like yeah, I'm burned out trying to find like all the different conversation points with the enemies. So like, I can get that the gameplay can be hit or miss for some people, and I think that's the benefit of this day and age of YouTube, because the YouTube culture allows us to still experience the game, though not in maybe as impactful of a way as we would if we played it fully.
I'm glad I played it and didn't watch it, but I can definitely see why somebody would decide, now fuck this, I'm gonna watch it.
For me, the gameplay was definitely a hit because I like these kinds of games, bullet hells. I wouldn't say I'm good at them, but I enjoy the challenge of it, and I don't particularly rush through games, so I'll take my time and figure out what I need to do. But I think that just comes up to your playstyle. And I want to say that the act ability is pretty smart, because technically you are attacking. I feel like act is just another way of like saying like a magic spell or something like that.
Sure.
That's how I've seen it described sometimes, and
that's very accurate.
Yeah.
Actually,
Rita, you were telling us before the show about like there's this theory that you had about the types of people that enjoy this game or that don't enjoy this game.
Oh yeah. So basically, I've had a few conversations with friends discussing about the people who do enjoy this game for everything that it is and will defend it with their life, basically. Is that they haven't really played that many games to begin with, even if that really sounds mean or like whatever. But they either haven't played many games in their life, or they haven't played the game for themselves, and they've just been watching YouTube Let's Plays of it, basically. And I think that's a good gateway into video games because of the nature of the internet these days. But I feel like it's just too much sometimes, the way that these people treat the YouTubers who want to play the game their way, because they saw, this one Let's Player did it this way, so this is the way it should be. Which I personally think that uploading a Let's Play of Undertale to YouTube is probably the worst thing you could do at this point on YouTube, besides copyright issues, because you will get shit for it no matter what you do.
And like that's so weird when the point of the game is player agency. That's the entire like theme of the game.
Yeah, it's just barely starting to die down, but don't expect not to get any heat from some really hardcore fan.
And that's true for just about any game, but yeah, I agree that Undertale has been bigger with it lately.
Because I want to bring up one case in particular, the YouTuber Pro Jared. He played through Undertale on his Let's Play channel, and from episode 1, they already had a problem with him with the way that he decided to play it. And so in episode 2, he said, "Fuck it, okay, I'll listen to you guys, and I'll play how you guys want to play it."
No.
And he just went through the entire game not happy at all. And you can see that.
No.
And it was a perfect example of what the Undertale community has done to Let's Players.
What could they possibly have had an issue with in the first episode?
Him killing...
You picked butterscotch instead of cinnamon.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck you. Cinnamon's delicious. And butterscotch is disgusting.
You joke about that, but that's probably something that somebody's fought over before.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's my rant about Undertale. I could go on longer, but we gotta keep going.
We do.
Well, I mean, we could talk about the 3 endings just real quick, because I'm assuming all 3 of us have at least seen all 3 of the endings.
Right. Yes.
So neutral's not bad.
It's an interesting way, though. The revelations of like what the EXP and then the level and like what those all mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it that. It's a nice little swerve there.
And depending on who you've like killed or like interacted with in the world, that ending changes. Mm-hmm. Like to say, if you didn't kill Toriel, she would become the queen of the underground, and then and if you did kill Toriel, Undyne became like the ruler of the underground, basically.
Yeah.
So there's like definitely different neutral endings depending on how that played out, but I haven't really done that much because it doesn't make that much of a difference to me. But those endings are out there too.
So for my big issue with the neutral ending, and I talked to Rita about this. After beating Asgore, obviously, then you get the true final boss, and it pulls some fourth wall breaking, force quitting, all that kind of stuff. And it's Flowey, obviously. That boss had some flaws. Let me tell you what those flaws are. So, Rita tells me that it's a fan favorite, that fight. It's definitely cool aesthetically. It's the perfect boss to describe my feelings on this game. Being aesthetically great, gameplay wise, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because that is the most bullet hell thing possible. And so the thing is that Flowey comes out and he force quits your game because he has control, and that was cool. And then I did the whole fourth wall breaking, and that was cool. And then I died, and it quit the game again, and that was cool. But then I kept dying because it made an impossible bullet hell level, but the hits still counted, and I could still die and still lose. And yes, it saved exactly where you were every time you died, so you didn't have to actually redo the entire fight. But it still force quit every time you died. And yeah, that was cool the first 2 times, but every time after that, holy shit, having to go relaunch the game was the most annoying thing.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing about that is just when you have friends playing Undertale for the first time and their game just starts resetting and restarting and resetting and restarting, you're like, I know where you are.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
You see it, pop up in there, the notifications on Steam, yeah.
And I've seen other games do that before. There's a game, a free indie game, and I definitely recommend anybody listening go look this up. It's a horror game called I'm Scared: A Pixelated Nightmare. And that does that a lot. It force quits the game itself a lot. Because it plays with your files in roughly the same way that Undertale does. But just, oh my god, it was really cool at first, and then just near the end, I was so annoyed. And I get it. You're not supposed to like Flowey. You're not supposed to be happy about what's happening. But there's a difference between, oh, I'm gonna stick it to this boss, and I'm really annoyed and I want the game to be over now, please.
Yeah.
So...
kind of like Shadow Queen, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, fuck that fight too.
At least I could beat Flowey.
Yeah. It took me a while to beat Shadow Queen. I think I left the game there for 2 years.
I will never go back. In my mind, I beat Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Fuck yeah, Joe, you and me both.
No, I'm just saying the true ending of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is you dying right there, and there was no more Paper Mario games after that.
The rest of it is
it is a dream because you die right there.
The rest of it is a coma, and it's all just become stickers at that point.
So, and that's my feelings on the neutral ending, is that I get what it was trying to do, but it kind of shat the bed.
Yeah.
So,
it's definitely not one of my favorite fights, but I like the song in that fight, which is to say a lot of reasons why I like this game is because the music is the most outstanding thing about this game.
Toby Fox has been sort of famous for doing video game music remixes usually for a while. Ben likes to tell me the story of because he's friends with Gigi Digi and Drac, who are both also big names on the internet, mostly in comics though. Gigi writes the comic Cucumber Quest, which I definitely recommend everybody look up. And Drac made Wreck Boy, and he's making a game called Item Haver. And they're both very funny people on Twitter as well. And they're all friends with Toby Fox. And eventually, Ben likes to tell me the story of they somehow had a conversation that ended with, what if we made a really sad version of the Golden Hammer theme from Wrecking Crew? And then they said, well, shit, Toby, get on that. And within 2 hours, Toby Fox had a sad version of the Gold Hammer theme from Wrecking Crew. So he knows his way around music. You can definitely tell from this game. This game has an incredible soundtrack.
Oh man, it's the best of last year. I think it ranks highly in the last 5 years.
I would definitely agree with that.
For me, I have this one YouTube video that I have just open in a tab whenever. It's almost a 2-hour video long of a drum cover of the entire soundtrack done by the 8-bit drummer. If you guys want to look up that video, it's just music I have in the background all the time because the soundtrack is that good.
Genocide ending's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also kind of brilliant. I agree that the pacifist ending is better, but I knew that the genocide ending was the whole like, oh, you killed everybody, and the game didn't like that you did that, and you're kind of a bad person for doing that. I knew that was part of it, but I didn't realize that the other part of the ending was just because the game lets you do this doesn't mean you had to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of takes a shot at the completionist lifestyle of I have to get everything in every game always. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing wrong with that lifestyle, but this game kind of takes a shot at it. And I'm kind of interested in seeing if the completionist has done a video on it.
I don't think he has yet.
No, he hasn't.
That would be
but he said
hilarious.
in his Undertale playthrough on his Let's Play channel that he is eventually going to do one of the endings. But it's interesting you say that because in the pacifist ending, after you beat the game and reboot it, Flowey shows up and kind of tells you not to play the game anymore because everybody's happy. Why would you change that?
That sounds about right.
The fucked up part of the genocide run, I think, is each area when like there are so many enemies left, and then you beat all of them, but nobody came.
But nobody
then,
came.
The music then changes, and it's just like, oh man.
So for me, I just recently finished a genocide playthrough, and it wasn't very fun. Yeah, Megalovania is the best song ever. Whatever. I don't think it's the best song in the game, by the way.
Well, our You also don't like
First unwavering emotions,
No,
and now this
no.
shit. Why do you even work with this show?
because opinions are good.
Because opinions. Oh, it's not fun. I mean, it was challenging, which I like, but after you die the 80th time to Sans, you just kind of think to yourself, why am I doing this? And that's exactly what the game wants you to think.
Yeah.
It's meant to stop you, and it's really, really smart that one of Sans' final attacks is him not attacking at all. And you have to go out of your way to move the box that he traps you with and over to the fight thing and then kill him while he's asleep.
Yep.
I would have
Which is kind of fucked up.
My computer
It's
over my knee.
super.
That fight would have made me break everything I own. I would have.
My favorite thing to do is watch YouTubers' reactions of the first time that fight starts for them. It's the best thing ever when you're not ready for it.
Yeah, why not use your best attack first?
And then, once you learn that fight, that's the easiest attack to dodge, sadly.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we had my wife on the show, but she's busy getting acquainted with the new job and everything. But yeah, she had the most difficult time with that fight. But now, since she's beaten it several times, I think it's taken her like on her third try.
I'm sorry, fucking excuse you, several times? Rachel, we gotta have a talk.
Yeah, she's had genocide run races with people on Twitch.
Holy shit! That sounds soul destroying. Good,
Sorry, honey.
Impressive. I'm impressed. Consider me impressed, I guess.
But definitely, Undying the Undying fight was a very emotional fight, I guess you could say. Because I like to think that the song "Battle Against a True Hero" is like against you, basically.
Yeah.
And Undyne is the one that's supposed to save everybody, not you.
Yes.
You're the one that should be eliminated from the world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that game just like really tries to make you feel bad for doing genocide ending, and they're really good at it.
And it goes out of its way to try and stop you too. I know you were explaining to me that it stops giving you encounters after a while because you killed everyone.
Yes, but nobody came.
And like everybody is afraid of you in Snowden Town once you show up. Like you can't go to the inn, you can't go to the shop, but you can steal things from the shop and all of their money.
Yep, because they're all hiding.
Yeah, Damn it.
And then, like, you go in the lab, and you encounter all the computer files.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I mean,
then you get to the whole thing with Flowey and Azrael, and
yeah. Which is kind of interesting. He said that, I guess, it's kind of talking about the pacifist ending. But in the pacifist ending, Azrael says, "Don't think of me as Flowey," basically. But in the genocide ending, he turns into Flowey. I mean, he turns into Azrael, sort of. His like face appears there for a second, and then you kill him, which is, I thought he wasn't Azrael in that form, but I don't know. I got to think about that more. It's interesting.
Yeah, it does get complicated, and when they present Frisk and then versus Kara, and it gets complicated.
And then you got the soulless pacifist ending, which is even more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you go through the game first, beat the neutral ending, and then go through the game before you do the pacifist ending and do the genocide ending, you have the chance to bargain for your soul at that ending, at the end of the genocide route. And once you do get your soul back, your file resets and you can play through the game again. Nothing really changes in the game itself until the ending of the game, which has you in bed with Toriel and stuff if you chose to do that thing. And basically Chara wakes up at the end, implying that, oh, well, it's not over. They're going to kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Okay.
This fucking game, man.
I know. I thought about this game way too much.
I mean, it's a very thought-provoking game, and it's... Please be completely aware that when we say the game's okay, we're not saying it's bad. There's a difference between, yeah, it was a game, and, oh my god, what's this terrible game? So, like...
It's kind of like Destiny comparisons. It's the most okay game ever to some people, but it's definitely the best game to some people.
Like, just because we don't like the game as much as you might like the game does not mean that we hate the game. Because I've seen a lot of people think that other people not thinking the game is the greatest thing to ever grace mankind is a written declaration of war.
But it won that GameFAQs poll.
It beat Ocarina of Time? That's bullshit! That was the two...
Tumblr bait SJW bullshit.
The two worst gaming fan bases ever meeting in the middle. That was insane.
But you know what? I'm glad to be free of 5 Nights at Freddy Hell. Thank you, Undertale.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, let's talk about that amazing soundtrack. At number 10 was Metal Crusher.
I love this song.
Yeah, we had it originally at number 8, and I've had a fondness over time for number 8, which we'll get to. So I just flipped the two. It's an unusual song where it's a little grating, particularly in the beginning, but it gets a good beat to it.
Well, it fits Metaton's speech sound because that's the most grating sound effect I've ever heard in a video game.
It's almost like Test Dummy.
Oh my god.
That was one of my favorite fights the first time around was the quiz show. Because it's not possible to die in that fight.
I guess we should bring up that there was originally a skit meant to be in the thing, but unfortunately, as you can hear from Peter's side, schedules did not work out. It is not scrapped.
Rita, I have to apologize to you publicly as well as I did earlier personally. That's just my fault with schedule getting too overwhelming. With leaving for this trip on a Sunday, I basically only had Saturday to work, and then things came up with like taxes and other things. So it got very overwhelming very quickly. And
don't worry about it.
I do apologize because you put time into making a funny skit, and it just got to be too much. I mean, we learned a couple things from that we'll implement in the future. But yeah, as Joe said, it's not gone. Much like the musical number that we did for Chrono Trigger, it's still there, waiting in the wings to be made. But I'm sorry that I had to, I just substituted in a really shitty mashup
I mean, I had a laugh at that. I mean, it was worth it,
Okay.
I think.
Oh,
It was
okay.
completely lost.
I've already told you this
Yeah.
personally, but unfortunately, in a world where Through the Papyrus and the Sands exists, I can't really give your mashup the really good mashup award. I'm sorry. It's good,
I
but
wasn't trying to be really good. I know when you put Smash Mouth with things, it's going to be shit.
God, that song
Like,
fits with everything. It's so. But speaking of Through the Papyrus and the Sands, number
yeah,
9.
Undertale. Quite the title, the self-titled there. I mean, it's a long song, but it builds on some of the motifs and just adding the instruments to it. Like, it's a really calming song.
And mixed with the lyrics of Through the Fire and the Flames by Dragon Force, it becomes a really sad version of Through the Fire and the Flames, which
Cool with your morning.
it's so good. Did you listen to that SoundCloud link I posted? Because it was
Oh yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I've heard it before.
It's such a. I first heard that from the Best Friend cast. They put it as one of their ending songs.
Oh,
That
that's
was
awesome.
really good song.
If you want another interesting cover of Undertale, try Underdog. It's basically that white dog that barks.
Yeah.
His name is Gabe the dog,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of mashups of Gabe the dog now. But Undertale is my favorite one out of that one because
Which one is?
it's
Gabe
still
the dog?
very it's
Is
still very emotional.
is the dog? Is it the dog that extends into heaven and then back?
No,
Because
not
that's
that
the
one.
greatest enemy that's ever graced a video game.
That's Lesser Dog.
I kept petting Lesser Dog because I wanted to see how far I could take it.
And he comes back down.
Well, he came back down and then he went past behind the text box, and then he doesn't
I
go
like
any
how
farther. He didn't go any farther
what
than that, but
when he comes back around to the other side, it just says hello.
oh, that enemy's so great.
Dog Song though is another good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a good song.
It's the best boss music in the game. Dog Song.
One of my favorite jokes in the entire game is going up to that sign right before the dog couple boss, and it says "Warning, dog marriage," and then if you read it again, it says, "Yeah, you read that right." that was awesome.
You mentioned Underdog. I'll let this slip because I don't see any way in actually doing it. I had an idea way too late in the process to be like, oh fuck, this would have been a really good musical number for this episode. But to take the Underdog cartoon theme song and something like maybe Undertale.
Oh boy.
Someone do it. Someone make lyrics. Do it.
Sadly, the only Underdog knowledge I have is the live action movie Underdog.
Oh,
That's all you need, right?
Yes.
jeez. When it comes to other really good mashups, number 8 is Spider Dance, and it's
This is my favorite song on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Even though it's the worst fight to go against your first time around.
Even though this boss is the one that almost broke me and made me not finish the game, this is my favorite song on the soundtrack.
There are some really good YouTube videos that go with it. Like there's one where it's it's kind of a step mania sort of thing that goes with this song, and it's bonkers. It's all over the place. The screen moves around. It's crazy.
I gotta put that song through AudioSurf. That sounds like it'd be awesome.
That would be fun. And then the other one is a mashup with the Titus laugh. And God damn it, it's called Titus Dance. It's so goddamn good. So
I wish I had the attention span to edit stuff like that, because I'd be making Undertale covers of different things all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, great song, especially when it kicks in that chorus part. Oh man, it's awesome.
Muffet is wife though.
I was thinking Shrek is life. Muffet is wife.
Muffet can go to hell.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Choo choo. Number 7 is Dummy.
That fight is very fun. I like that fight.
So is that, it's just the fight with the dummy, right? Like in the sewers or wherever that is?
Yeah.
Where if you've
Yeah.
spared Napstablook, he comes down and saves you.
Yeah.
I like Napstablook. Napstablook is my spirit animal.
Yeah.
That's basically, I think that entire fight is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference. Because Mad Dummy just says futile, futile, futile. And does a lot of like jumping around and poses and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
I wonder.
And he uses a knife.
I wonder what part of JoJo that would be, because I can't think of any place in parts 1 or 2 that would be a reference to. I mean, it could just be a JoJo reference at all. The posing's really all you need at that point.
And that's more Meta 10 though, posing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh my god, we'll get to that.
Right.
Also recommend another Gabe the Dog cover, just called Doggy, instead of Dummy. I think most of them are made by the same person, so if you find one video, you'll find the rest of them.
That sounds about right. Number 6, Bone Trousel.
The song's so good!
Oh, so good.
It is awesome. Papyrus.
The first time I heard it, I hadn't been spoiled on the soundtrack, which I'm glad about going into. Like,
yeah, same.
Super glad that I didn't get spoiled on the soundtrack. Besides Megalovania, because people were like, "Oh, this is the best song ever. You should listen to this." I'm like, "The fuck is this?"
Undertale was the only one that I got spoiled on before playing.
But anyway, Bone Trussell, the way that the fight itself starts up, it starts off with Papyrus's regular theme, and then once he hits you with his blue attack, the song kicks in, and it's like the most exciting thing in the game.
Mm-hmm. That just gets you going immediately.
Yeah.
I still have problems with that fight. I don't remember if I've said it on the show or not. I don't remember if this was outside the show or not, but my big problem with that fight is that when you lose to Papyrus, it does not count as a game over. So if you used all of your health items to survive the fight, well, those health items are gone now.
Mm-hmm.
And he throws you in a gay baby jail. As it is referenced among some of my friends.
Oh boy. The songs just get better though, as number 5 is Death by Glamour.
Boy, this fight was a thing.
Metatime EX.
So right when he says, "Oh yes," or whatever he says, I was playing the game in the kitchen. I played this boss today. This is one of the bosses I played today, obviously. And I was playing in the kitchen, and my sister's boyfriend was in the kitchen getting a drink, and suddenly that sound clip played. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I shrugged and went back to the game. I didn't have anything else. I couldn't explain it.
Sorry, a machine kind of gained diva form.
That was a thing. Really was. I'm actually quite surprised that I ended up being able to spare him. To be perfectly honest.
I mean, the first time around, I had no idea how to do that. Like, I didn't realize the popularity or views or whatever it is was the thing that you're supposed to be going for. And I didn't know if shooting his heart was the right thing to do. So I just kind of just sat there until it eventually reached 1 million. Which is interesting, because if you do sit there, it lowers the viewer count.
Though Smooth McGrew did a cover of this song.
Yeah, very
goddamn is good. Yeah, so good.
Good to have him back.
I can go look at the Smooth McGrew songs now, and all of the Tsuko G Undertale songs. I didn't even think about that. Yay!
Yep.
Yay! Man, the song is really good, and it's one of my favorites to just listen to on loop.
Mm-hmm.
It goes through just all the waves of intensity. I really, really like that one. The next one, though, at number 4, Bergen Trukung and Asgore. Bergen Trukung kind of leading into the main Asgore theme. Like that's just, it's a really good song, but it's also just more important to the game. It's kind of more seminal, I think.
I got very comfortable with this song, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean like the king in the mountain or something like that?
I guess the literal translation is like mountain rapture. So then, king in the mountain or under the mountain is kind of like an open translation there. Because, Bergen is mountain. Or Berg. Huh. The more you know.
I will say that I'm told that I've seen claims that the song shares a lot of note progression with Toriel's theme, which is fitting.
And it also has a game over theme in it. If you realize that.
But yeah, it's a good song, and a lot of different motifs there. It means a lot to that game.
Seeing him pull out that trident was one of the coolest goddamn things I've ever seen. And just annihilating your flee button.
I had my sister play Undertale a while back ago, and it's kind of one of the only video games she's played through by herself that I didn't really have to help her with. And her reaction to this fight just like really kind of crushed my soul because she was really upset with how he destroyed the mercy button. Because she went through the game not killing anything, not under influence of the internet, by the way. Like she just went into this game blind basically and didn't want to kill anything.
Nice.
So yeah, it's nice to see a genuine reaction out of something once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Number 3, though, we're getting into good shit. Battle Against a True Hero.
Oh, baby.
Oh man, this song.
If you know Toho music, that like the last maybe 30 seconds of it is definitely a Toho song.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's such a good song, and like I said before, the song sounds like it's against you. The song is fighting you. Yeah. Yeah,
it's fantastic, and it goes through just so many, waves of like the tempo, and just the overall mood. But yeah, when it kicks in that high frenetic pace, it's awesome. It's really, really good. Though number 2, Hopes and Dreams and Save the World. That's your favorite, Rita.
Yeah, that's my favorite song in the game.
It's a good song.
Justifiably so. Like it's all the instruments coming together. It's got this really epic feeling, and it's louder, I think, than most of the other songs. But like it's meant to be. It's powerful, and it's against that Cthulhu monster basically.
My favorite comment I saw in a video for this Hopes and Dreams and Save the World was, "Holy shit, this game is $10." Because it sounds like a really like high quality like song you wouldn't expect out of a game like this if you just looked at it for what it is. And so yeah, that's probably why it's one of my favorite songs. And just that whole sequence really of the music towards the ending of the game is just perfect.
It's super fitting, yeah, definitely. We have the honorable mentions, Heartache, Toriel's boss theme.
Which is a shame that didn't make it on this list because I really like Heartache.
That is also
I
agree.
It was really close. It was like the last one cut, basically. Ruins is also another good one. I like that one a lot.
Also, other
exploring and learning the game.
Other notable like out of fight songs, Snowden for me.
Yeah.
And the core.
The core was very good.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, but dating start.
Did you do Papyrus. That? Did you do that, Joe?
I dated Papyrus. That's the only one I went on myself.
Did you see the reference in there to a certain favorite game of ours?
Which one? You'll have to jog my memory. This was a couple weeks ago.
That whole like sequence of dating Papyrus references, I think it references Ace Attorney, just in the fact of like the tension music and the fact that you're like pointing out on his body where he's hiding something, and like the power meter and the just basically everything about that fight. Yeah,
the music is entirely Ace Attorney.
The funniest part about that date is the UI joke, though, where he brings up the dating UI, and it's just every possible UI that Toby Fox could have possibly drawn.
Yeah. And the best part is that clock there is right.
I didn't notice
Like
that.
if you're playing at night, it shows the moon. If you're playing during the day, it shows the sun and the correct day.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the dating star theme, I think it's like supposed to be like Pearl's theme in the Ace Attorney games.
It's close.
It's very close to it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the first time I heard it.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a good song.
Good song as well. But number one, Megalovania. Yeah, I like it more than Hopes and Dreams personally. Joe, how do you come down between those top two?
I mean, I just heard it for the first time recently, so I don't know. It's a good song.
After hearing it for the 80th time, I just kind of like, yeah, I get it.
Well, I can totally imagine you being tired of Megalovania after playing that fight like 600 times. I don't blame you at that point.
But yeah, I can't deny it is a good song, and I hope Toby does bring it back some way in some of his future projects, whatever it may be, because it definitely is like a good melody.
And I think that's part of it too. It's like it has like the history with his past works.
And I do dig all of the remixes out there.
Definitely heavy metal ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good.
So, any behind the scenes stuff? This was a pain to edit on a flight, and then had to charge a laptop in Salt Lake City Airport, and then edit some more. And then when we were driving in the car, edit some more. It took a while, but it's good to kind of challenge that in the workflow, I guess. And yeah, fucking Snowden Town matchup with Smash Mouth.
I hope people are watching you do that.
I do hope that people were more watching me, like, and it's like, are you editing? Is that you? That'd be super weird if I saw someone else doing that. Yeah.
See, what I hope it was that they saw the sound waves of All-Star and knew All-Star so intimately that they could tell just from looking at the sound waves that was what it was.
I think they would have an easier time seeing the file name in the sound object.
Yeah, but that's not as good. But that's not as good. I need somebody with real skill.
It does take real skill to look at an audio waveform, look at that sine wave, and be able to tell what it is. That is real skill.
I'm actually not entirely sure it would be humanly possible. Maybe they've made so many mashups in their life that they've just memorized what it looks like.
But yeah, we got Killer Instinct Season 2 coming up next. And I wanted to have our friend Cyberlink 420, Luke, as a guest, but he's in Austin for a lot of this week. So I'm getting his help writing stuff. But yeah, this is where I wanted to have a guest, but yeah, our timing and scheduling does not work out for that, unfortunately.
Opening the gate for me to be the first guest. Ha 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 ha! I'll eradicate them one by one.
And also, I got sunburned pretty badly this week, so that's probably going to look great on camera.
Calories weren't the only thing that were burned.
You know what would be hilarious? If sunburns were green. Because green screen would be fun.
Go through my forehead.
I don't know why I thought about that.
But yeah, I have to wake up at 2:30 a.m. tomorrow to go to the airport, so this is just going to be fantastic. Any games you guys are playing?
Pokken Tournament.
Oh, really? How is that?
Yeah, very good.
Oh, it's awesome.
Launch night, basically. Launch night into launch day, I just didn't put it down all day. I played for 14 hours straight when I woke up around 12, and I've only been using Pikachu, basically. And
the inferior version of Pikachu.
The inferior Pikachu, apparently.
Okay.
Regular Pikachu, because apparently he's like the Sheik of that game, because people really hate fighting against him, but I think there's way worse characters to fight against than regular Pikachu. Like Pikachu Libre.
You're only saying that because I've beaten you at least twice. Beat me
at least twice.
I, too, have been playing Pokken. I also, a couple days ago, beat Firewatch, which was also very good.
Well, I'm interested to play that game in time.
I recently bought a PS4, and that was one of the first games I bought, so I'm happy. I'm happy with my purchase. It's nothing game-changing, but it's still pretty good.
And then 2 days later, you got the rumor of the PS4.5.
I fucking 2 days after I bought that goddamn PS4 and they're telling me there might be a new model. I'm going to hunt you down, Sony.
I feel you. I just recently bought my PS4 too.
That's why I'm not buying a new 3DS. Because they're just going to come out with the NX and then I'm going to be out $200. But,
yeah, that's a fun little headline that dropped today with the
Oh, the NX
the controller picture. Yeah, some people saying it's fake. Some people saying like it's team fake, team real.
It better
all over
be
again.
fake. That goddamn controller looks awful.
Yeah.
But
no tactile buttons. Fuck that.
Other than that, there's hopefully going to be a bonus spoiler cast for a game not involved in the show. I don't know if it'll be on this channel or what, but
it probably will be.
Yeah. Myself and another friend of ours, Zero Ranma, are gonna try and do a Fate spoiler cast. He is expecting to be done on Saturday. A Fire Emblem Fate spoiler cast. He is expected to be done on Saturday, and I've been done for about a week. So.
Yeah, I lost Joe to Fire Emblem. I lost him to the war.
Everybody lost me to that. Oh my god. So.
But now you're burned out.
I burnt out super hard, so get ready for that. And Zero burnt out too. Zero was even more in there than me, and he burnt out.
Wow.
So, hopefully we get that going, and that might be next week. I don't know, but hopefully you'll see that soon.
I hope I get to play games before I record the next episode, but we'll see. Because I haven't played any, because I've been working a lot this week.
Driving Jeeps.
Yeah, and being out in the hot desert sun. Well, that's going to do it here, I think, for this Undertale spoiler cast. Thank you for listening, if you are. And we are getting to work on the Killer Instinct Season 2 episode. You know, it's not a game I played at all, so that should be fun. But goddamn, like, that is also an awesome soundtrack.
The only time I've ever touched Killer Instinct at all was when we were up there for your wedding and me and Luke played, and Hisako was confirmed to be the best.
I will say that her theme is on the list.
Good.
It's a good one. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time when you can join us one of these.
Yeah.
For sure. Guys, go play Undertale.
Go play Undertale.
Or
Don't watch Undertale.
Or
play Undertale first.
Try playing it
Try
first.
play Undertale.
If you don't like it, then watch it.
Then watch it. Absolutely.
Don't genocide, please.
No genocide. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.